Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining us. My name's Leo Rodman, and with me today is Laurent Rozenfeld, the CEO and founder of Beyond Games. Laurent, would
Hello,
you
everybody.
introduce yourself?
Sure. So my name is Laurent from Beyond. I'm located in Brussels, Belgium. And basically, what I do is with Beyond, we have a game-based learning platform. So it's actually a company where we create serious games in order to train companies, well, people, employees in companies using gamification, but also more advanced tools with 3D environments and AI.
Yeah,
And
that's awesome.
originally, yeah, sorry, originally I come from the escape room environment.
Awesome. Yeah, and as you know, I work in corporate training, so I'd definitely like to get some of your thoughts later about e-learning and corporate training. But let's start by talking a little bit about Beyond Games and Rogues Heist in particular. So what is Beyond Games? What is Rogues Heist? And what inspired you to create this game in 2024?
Okay, so Beyond Games is part of the Beyond company. The objective of the Beyond AI games is actually to create AI games for learning. The main idea was actually to say that today most of online e-learning modules can be quite boring, linear, not that interesting. Of course, you have companies do use gamification to improve it, but as you see overall, it's a bit a shame that we can't do something more immersive and interesting. So the objective with Beyond AI games is to use AI and other new technologies that are easily accessible in order to improve that. And the idea was to start with Rogues Heist, which is a game that is completely made using generative AI. So we don't have any coding. And the first objective was actually to find out what can be done with AI. So it's learning by doing. And we used a video that was created with AI by someone else who is a colleague, Yellow Medusa, who creates videos. Imagine if a specific movie was realized by someone else. So this movie was what if Star Wars was realized by Guy Ritchie, which completely changes the whole atmosphere. So the idea was to use this as a premise to create a game which is a spoof of Star Wars, but basically changes completely. And the difficulty was to use only AI, everything done with AI, and to see how far we can go with that in order to create a model that can then be used by other people that would like to create this type of AI games. And more specifically for e-learning, how the traditional e-learning can apply what we've learned by doing that game.
Okay, that's awesome. Do you have time to show us a little bit of the game mechanics?
Yeah, definitely. So hold on, I will share my screen. Up, share. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So the game itself is made like a role-playing game where you have different decision-making actions to take. So it's more like you're the hero type of story with a lot of branching. So basically, each branch that you take will guide you to another branch in the story. So this is actually the platform that we're using. And here you have I would say, the starting of the plot. And there's much more than that. We expect a few hundreds of different videos. So how the game actually works, the basis of the game is we create AI videos. And then based on your decision, you will continue your quest. Of course, some decisions will be positive and you will evolve in the right way. Other decisions will be negative, and well, you can end up dying also. The I would say the start of the quest is where you meet Uncle Toby. Uncle Toby is a little bit like our Obi-Wan Kenobi. What I will show you now are like the old videos, because with AI evolving that fast, now with Gen 3, we can use much more emotions and things like that. So the videos, we decided to hide them, not to show them the final version. But here you can see a little bit how it works. I will just launch that one. So I will just reduce the audio, otherwise I don't hear myself. So here you have Obi-Wan Kenobi, Uncle Toby, basically, who is coaching you because you, Sunshine, you got your hand cut. We don't say why, that's not that important. And you want to get revenge against your daddy, Daddy Vader. And in order to do that, you have to gain some skills. So basically you have the lightsaber, the shooting, and the boost. And in order to acquire those skills, you have to get training. So you have to find what Uncle Toby say, mates or mentors that will help you get those skills. Now, in order to get those skills, you have to pass a test. And if you succeed in that test, you will be able to use that skill afterwards in the game. If you fail, it means you have to continue the game without the skill. It's a little bit, and that's what interests us in the e-learning part, is that instead of having something linear where you have a few videos and then a quiz, and if you fail the quiz, you just loop till you succeed the quiz. Here, what happens is if you fail the quiz, you continue your learning path, except that you will start finding out what's the impact of the fact that you failed a specific quiz. So you have those three powers. You have money because, of course, with Guy Ritchie, nothing is free. And then you have a map where you can meet the different characters. And when you click on one of those characters, you will go and meet that specific person. So for example, here you have the Mongolian, which is like our Mandalorians with a totally different story. And that person will help you learn how to shoot, for example. Okay, so in between those videos with explanations, you will have a lot of cutscenes used, created with AI in order to boost the story. It's like a movie game, so you really are in the movie. And then you have different mini games. Those mini games have been designed with AI and Rive. I don't know if you know about Rive. Rive is a new amazing application. I call it like the new Flash in HTML5. And you can create normally animations, but in our case, we use it to create games without any coding. So for example, one of the games, I will reduce the volume. Well, one of the games, the sound is very loud, so I have to. So in this game, for example, you have to test your sword's lightsabering skill. So it's a matter of dexterity and timing. You have to beat the raiders and hurt them at the right time in order to succeed. If you fail, you don't have the skill. If you succeed, you win the skill, and you can continue with that specific skill. Another game, for example, is about a spaceship that you have to bring up, and again, click at the right moment. If you succeed, it goes up. If you fail, it goes down. So you have different games, mini games like that are integrated, and depending on your decisions, you will access some of those trainings, and in some other cases, you won't even be needing them because you can negotiate. You may not have actually enough money to get all those trainings. You have to decide what you're going to focus on. So you have a lot of decision making inside the game. And everything that you see, the music, everything is done with AI using different tools. So this is the main game mechanics. No programming at all, zero code. Even the content that you see here, if I bring you to the end, hold on. Oops, wrong button. So as you can see, it's all videos actually. Even this, it's actually directly integrated in the video. So the game engine is the use of different videos, which is interesting because for e-learning, it means that you don't need programming. You can create e-learning with or without AI using branching in that specific way.
Yes, so it's good that you brought up e-learning. Can you tell me a little bit about the relationship between your e-learning experience and where you're going here with Rogue Heist, and where this might go next?
Yes. So first of all, we have experience using learning, I would say, training in our escape room slash VR center in Belgium. So we have the biggest center located nearby Brussels, and we use this environment first of all for team building activities, but also for learning. So people can first train on specific soft skills and then apply it by playing those games. What happened afterwards with the COVID, we had to close for a while, and then we decided to go open something online. So we created our own 3D platform with a game engine to create e-learning modules using game mechanics from the escape games, storytelling, role-playing games for larger teams. So you could have a sort of escape game where you have 30 people that have to collaborate together in order to escape from a mansion or to solve complex stories and quests. So what we actually normally do is create environments that are used for learning based on soft skills, first of all, but it can also be done to teach something, a specific a specific lesson, I would say, that can be related to something at work. Now, we decided to also start using this video model because what we create with the 3D environment is more suitable for larger groups. It can be done for solo people, but it's maybe an overkill doing a whole 3D environment just for that. On the other hand, using videos like that way, it can go much faster. Of course, creating Rogue's Heist is actually huge because we have a lot of videos and we start integrating also other characters on top of it. But a trainer that already created e-learning content, they can actually retake it, reformat their content in such a way that you can have something much more immersive than what they have today as a linear e-learning. So what we want to do with this Rogue's Heist game is to showcase all what's possible technically today with AI without the need of coding, and that actually anyone with a little bit of training could do. And the whole Rogue Heist idea is actually a part of something bigger because we're creating a community in order to help people learn how to do it. So we create content, we share information, we create contests in order to have people try out, be motivated, because when you want to learn something, if you have a real objective, you will be more motivated than just learning without really knowing where you're going with all that.
Yeah, that's really cool. So, really this could be applied to all kinds of learning from what I'm understanding, just like a more interesting way of presenting it, a way of gamifying to achieve greater attention, and retention for people who are learning.
Totally. An example, you can, because you can use it on computers, mobile phone, smartphones, tablets. What you can create is also learning modules that do not necessitate any texts. I've been told, for example, that in the United States, you have a lot of larger companies that employ people that have reading difficulties. So in order to have them train, you can recreate, especially with AI today, you can recreate environment you can put them into the moving. So where imagine you're in a building on fire and you have to learn specific actions to take because if you open the door at the wrong time, it can explode or something else. So by creating a movie where you are the hero and they just have to click on different icons to decide what is the next action they're going to take, they can really be immersed in the story. And the advantage with those new technologies is that it's not very expensive to do and not that time consuming either.
Now, to go back to the communities you mentioned, you said that like you're training people to do this same kind of thing as part of the community. So people in those communities would learn the skills required to make branching scenarios like this. Is that correct?
Yes. So step by step, right now we have a Discord community and we're actually working on creating a separate community, a sort of Facebook or LinkedIn community, specifically targeting AI games and education. Because right now you don't really have a network for that, so it's a little bit here and there. And the idea is creating different modules, live training, live sessions, in order for people to learn first how to use AI, creating images, creating videos, creating what you see here in the background, and then learn how to use the tool that we have, so that they can create their own games or their own training sessions. That's
Now, you
really
mentioned,
the objective.
yeah, you mentioned using this in sort of a corporate environment. Do you think this is something that could also be used in like a K through 12, elementary, middle, high school environment for education?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that even more so, the best way to learn is by creating or doing. I really believe that the ideal way would be actually to have children or in companies, employees that create their own games. So, for example, they would like to learn more about AI and about creating something like that. They will have a course to learn the different tools and then have to work together like a sort of team building activity where they have to create a game that will teach something to other employees or to the other students. For example, you have a math exercise or a specific theory. They can use AI, they can use branching in order to create a game that the other children will play. They will play and learn, and the others will play learn by creating the content. So that is something that I really believe in. I see it also on myself by working with Rogues Heist. There's so much that I've learned quite rapidly, actually.
Very exciting. Now, I understand that you're funded through a Kickstarter campaign. Why did you choose to go that route?
Okay, so we're not funded yet through the Kickstarter campaign. So we're going to launch the Kickstarter campaign to get the funds, because basically this is a project that is a little bit outside of the original scope of the Beyond company,
Mhm.
and it is an experiment. So from one side, we would like to get the funds in order to create the whole community, because you also have it also requires budgets, and at the same time the Kickstarter is a way for us to promote the whole project.
Okay, and when is that going to be launching?
Probably next week or the week after.
Oh, it's very exciting.
Yeah.
So maybe by the time people see this video, it'll already be out.
uh,
What are some other things you've learned about being a founder from this experience?
so being a founder is very exciting and difficult. Depends also a lot on the environment where you're located. From one country to the other, you don't have necessarily the same infrastructure, the same access to financial support. But at the same time, in our case, it's really about the new technologies, because working with, take for instance, Rive. We decided to work with Rive, but finding a Rive expert is extremely difficult today because you have very few people that really know how the tool is used. So you have to start looking for them. So we're working a lot with different freelancers that are expert in their field, so that we can get the best out of it. Now, I would say that starting a company is not the easiest thing to do, but it's definitely very, very interesting, and I love it. So yeah.
What are some tips that you might have for people who are thinking of starting their own AI companies?
So AI is definitely part of the future. So if you want to start something related to AI, I think it's the right time, because we're really at the beginning, when we see that more and more professionals, even from the movie industry, are starting to get interested. It's definitely the right time. Now, in order to start, I would say the very beginning is to learn how to use those tools. So really take the time to learn how to use them, join our community. It's maybe one of the easiest way to do that. And then start working on a few little projects, try to find a few customers first. I know, for example, that in the advertisement industries, they're getting more and more excited about it. And then based on that, see what interests you. What parts? Is it more creating movies? Is it creating games? Is it creating learning and education modules? And then just go for it.
Awesome. So I know, Rogue's Heist is still in development. Do you have any projections for when you think it'll be coming to the public?
Yeah. So the game is designed in 3 acts. Act 1 and 2 are basically done. And then we're waiting for Act 3 because we want to integrate in Act 3 real people, in the sense that you participants, backers of the Kickstarter campaign, can have their own character in the game. We're organizing some contests. Now you have a AI poster contest. The winner will get their character in the game. So they can decide if they want to be a villain or a supporting, having a supporting role. And we still need to create, of course, those characters in order to integrate in the game. So we expect it to be finalized, the whole thing finalized by end of the year.
That's exciting. Now, this sounds like a huge amount of work for this project, but once Rogue's Heist is out and released and you're comfortable with it, where do you see yourself going next?
So 2 ways. First of all, Rogue's Heist is actually helping us get a lot of information because we're working actually now we're going to start working on cybersecurity projects, which are totally unrelated to Rogue's Heist. It's more about recognizing deepfakes, creating awareness about all the cyber threats, first in Belgium and potentially in Europe. So all the content that all the knowledge we get by creating Rogue's Heist will help us develop those gamified learning modules. And the techniques we're using here will be using there too. So this is a first thing. Secondly, about Rogue's Heist, that would be episode 1, because what we already have ideas about creating other stories. Actually, one of the interesting elements is that because I call it a movie game, meaning that the characters are played by AI actors. So for example, Princess Leila is played by Ruby. Ruby is an AI character that will be playing in other roles. Possibly, she might become a model, doing some. We're actually in discussion with some agencies to have her participate in a catwalk, AI catwalk, for example. So we're creating different characters that have their own line, like our own small agency, own life, I meant. And this is something that we'll be using because Rogue's Heist is like Star Wars. It's one of the many episodes that you can have with their own side stories and quests, etc. So actually, we would like to use the community to have people create their own side stories around in this same universe.
That's amazing. So if people want to learn more about Rogue's Heist and follow along, I see roguesheists.com in the top corner. Is that the best place for them to go?
Definitely. When you go there, you can subscribe and then have access to a community. That way we can also send more information. And I would say the best way to do is really get in touch in the Discord community at first. That's where I would say the real deal is happening. And after that, we'll also inform about the Kickstarter campaign. And of course, from there, it continues with its own life.
Yeah, that's all super exciting. So it sounds like there's a lot of opportunities for people still to get involved in the process, potentially even to win a contest or purchase through Kickstarter to be featured in the game. I'm very excited to hear more and see more as it comes out. As we're wrapping up, do you have any closing thoughts that you'd like to share with the audience?
Don't be shy. I think that what I notice is that, especially with AI, you have some people that become real experts and that you see them continuously communicating on the different social media. And then other people that probably feel a little bit less comfortable with the quality of their work, or that they don't really know where to start or where to start with. So I would say if AI is something that interests you and you don't want to spend a huge amount of money following courses that can be really good, but that you're not sure yet that this is something you would like to do, join us on Rogue's Heist. That will give you the opportunity to discover a little bit more about AI, different tools that you can use, find out where you can start, what you can start with, and then that will give you the opportunity to grow within the AI community, or say maybe not.
All right. Well, that's great advice. Thank you so much for joining us today, Laurent. This was
Thank you
really
very
a
much, Leonard.
pleasure.
Pleasure was mine, was shared.
Thanks again, everyone, for watching, and hope you all have a great day. Bye, everyone.
Bye.